Good morning, colleagues, and it's my honor to welcome the best university in Los Angeles and quite possibly the nation to council this morning. Let's give a round of applause to UCLA. Volunteer Day 2015 was UCLA's 7th annual New Student Service event, which my daughter actually got to participate, I believe, in its first year. On this day, first-year freshmen and new transfer students joined together with continuing undergraduates, graduate students, faculty, staff, alumni, parents, and community members to visit 48 sites across greater Los Angeles. Reaching out to every council district, volunteers gave service at schools, food banks, parks, shelters, senior centers, veterans facilities, and neighborhood areas. UCLA Volunteer Day is one of the nation's largest community participation events for new students. Participants learn important skills including leadership, task coordination, painting and landscaping, event planning, and more. For some Bruins, this is their first experience in the city of Los Angeles or their first time engaging in community service. And this year, around 5,500 individuals participated. So now I'd like to invite Vice Chancellor Keith Parker to say a few words and share some highlights from this year's Volunteer Day.
Thank you very much, Councilmember Koretz, and Council President Wesson. Thank you for allowing us to come in today to commemorate some of our UCLA work in civic engagement. As all of you know, this was our 12th annual UCLA Day in downtown, where our volunteers who are doing work around homelessness came and met with each member of the City Council or their staff, met with members of the Board of Supervisors and their staff. And so we're also commemorating our work with our 12th annual UCLA Day in downtown. Carmen Healy and Marco Perez have been the coordinators of this year's program, along with Yvette Bailey from our community and local government relations staff. They've done an incredible job, and we really thank Councilmember Huizar for participating in a panel with LA County Representative Phil Ansell to talk about both your council response to homelessness as well as the county's response to homelessness. So Councilmember Huizar, thank you very much. As a Bruin who gets lots of UCLA votes in Los Angeles rather than a Berkeley Bear where you get no votes, we appreciate your participation as always. We also again want to commemorate our 7th annual Volunteer Day. Volunteer Day is made possible because of the contributions all of you make as council members. You not only provide us with bus support, and you've done tremendous work, 68 of the buses that we needed this year the council provided, but you also help us identify sites where our volunteers can go and do this important work. Volunteer Day is not the only day, though, that our volunteers are out. We're out in a program we call One Bus, One Cause, where we will go back to sites and we'll go to new sites. In fact, on Thanksgiving Day, one of our One Bus, One Cause efforts will be at the West Los Angeles VA, where we'll be feeding veterans on Thanksgiving Day. So I want to introduce Shannon Reagan Hickman, who is our director of our Volunteer Center, for a few words.
Thank you, Keith. Council President Wesson and members of the City Council, on behalf of the staff of the UCLA Volunteer Center and our volunteer leadership teams, I'm pleased to be with you today to say thank you and to share the success of our 7th annual UCLA Volunteer Day. As you'll see in the impact reports we've given you, with 5,495 volunteers participating, the value of the work completed on Volunteer Day totals almost $725,000. But the work doesn't stop after Volunteer Day. We check in with each site after the day to make sure every community partner is completely satisfied with the quality of work, scheduling follow-up projects when needed. And our volunteers don't stop serving. Since that day, 300 volunteers have joined us on a One Bus, One Cause project. 52 undergraduates have dedicated hours to tutoring campus employees through our ESL program, Project Spell. Many more have been referred to campus organizations or nonprofits who need assistance. And once they are engaged, we are seeing these Bruins emerge as leaders time and time again. So in fact, the impact of Volunteer Day lasts far beyond the few hours spent on site that day. In the words of one of the principals at our partner elementary schools, UCLA left more than murals and new paint. You left my students and families with hopes and dreams. This day of service generated lasting dreams of opportunity for my students. So thank you for your support of UCLA Volunteer Day, from site suggestions to providing transportation to serving on site with us that day. We look forward to continued partnerships and service that will provide assistance to the people of Los Angeles while also inspiring future civic and community leaders. Go Bruins!
Thank you.
In your bags that are at your desk, you'll find and Mr. Cedillo's displayed his, you'll find a photo from a site in your district where we did a volunteer project. You'll find a T-shirt that is from Volunteer Day and has our sponsors listed on the back. So each of you are on the back of our shirts that went to over 6,000 people as a sponsor. You'll also find, as Shannon mentioned, the impact report on where we were, what we accomplished, and what Volunteer Day really means in terms of service by UCLA. And finally, a cool pair of sunglasses. And so, again, my mother always told me there's nothing worse than an ungrateful heart. We are very, very grateful to the work that you do and to the work that you help us to do. So as Shannon said, go Bruins, and Mr. Englander and Mr. Krikorian, who have ties to that other small school on the other side of town, we're going to kick some butt this weekend. Go Bruins.
You know, Mr. Koretz, we do have some other members that want to speak, so if you'd like for us to go in that direction now, we can.
Please.
Okay, and I just want to say this. Thank you for all that you do. It's a pleasure for the council to work with you. And then just a word about Mr. Parker, Keith Parker. You've just been, not only are you a class act, you really care. It's really obvious, and you've been very helpful to most of the members seated around this horseshoe, and some that are serving in the Assembly and in Congress. So I give you a big salute. You rarely get recognized for all of the good work you do. Can we give Keith Parker a round of applause? He's a good leader. He's a good leader with a good team. Mr. Rue, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just wanted to rise today to recognize the 7th Annual UCLA Volunteer Day, but any chance I get to recognize my alma mater, UCLA, I just want to say how great the school is, how I'm so fortunate that I was able to attend. And I think we were just talking with the Vice Chancellor. I think there are 6 members who attended UCLA. Almost a majority here at the City Council, so we just need 2 more graduates from UCLA, and you guys can get whatever you want. But I'm so thankful to have had the privilege to attend the finest public institution of UCLA, and I owe everything that I am today to UCLA and anything I can do to support. And thank you, Mr. Koretz, for bringing UCLA to our attention today. Thank you.
All right. Mr. Wizar.
Thank you. Just briefly, UCLA has really left a lasting impact on 2nd Street Elementary School in Boyle Heights. It showed those students that people are here that care about the school. But not only that, the volunteerism and the materials, but as we were talking with Keith earlier, it really left an impression on the students about what is possible and that college is possible for many of these students. So thank you so much. Keith and I have this ongoing joke that my undergraduate institution, UC Berkeley, that there's not many voters in my district. And Keith, I think I told you the story that it's true what you say. I get more votes because I went to UCLA than I went because I went to Cal. But when we run polls. And we usually ask who you're voting for, and sometimes we get qualitative information like, why are you voting for this person? On 2 occasions, people responded because he went to UCLA. So you're right, I do get votes because I went to UCLA. Thanks for all your work. Volunteer Day is incredible. Thank you so much.
Mr. Harris Dawson.
Thank you so much, Mr. President, and thank you, Councilmember Koretz, for highlighting the work of the UCLA family. And to my constituent in the 8th District, the one and only Keith Parker, again, thank you for all you do, and thank you for making sure the university has a presence in South LA. Not only the work that you all are recognized for this year at Al Wooten Heritage Center, helping young people, which is not only in the district but very close to my house, but for years when I was executive director of Community Coalition, you all helped facilitate a program that brought UCLA students to Community Coalition to tutor students in local high schools. That was very, very important because most of the students we work with didn't know anybody that looked like them or was from their neighborhood or had anything in common with them that went to college. And so not only did folks get good grades, they established relationships with people they could identify with who were college students. And in at least 3 of those years, we achieved 100% college acceptance rates for our seniors. And so thank you for all that you have done, and anything we can help you to be active in your future, you can always count on us.
All right. Mr. O'Farrell.
Thank you, Mr. President. As someone who is completely neutral on the crosstown rivalry, and I am not neutral on the following. I'm not neutral in my gratitude for UCLA Volunteer Day. I am not neutral on the inspiration that I personally gained from all of the young people that volunteer to improve Sammy Lee Science Academy Elementary School in my district. And I'm not neutral on a strong opinion of the positive impact you are making in my district with this incredible day of volunteerism and all of the inspiring examples you give to young people across my district. This is one of my favorite days of the year in 2015, going to Sammy Lee Elementary School and just being able to cross paths with the dozens and dozens of young people and hearing their stories from age 17 on up, but not too far up. And also just the faculty and those that were chaperoning and in charge of the Volunteer Day of Service. It's a great program, and you're improving this city in more ways than you may even realize. So I really thank you for this. It's one of the best community building endeavors that any educational institution can engage in. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Mr. Cedillo.
I don't know if there's anything else that can be said. Thank you, Keith Parker. Marcos, thank you. Thank your entire team for your service. And let me say to the volunteers and your team, you're not just contributing to the service and service to the city, but you're building future leaders. And the 6 that are here on the floor, Bruins, are a testament to it. And I was speaking to, Mr. President, I was speaking to our former mayor yesterday about our great experiences at UCLA. And so you're just constantly building future leaders for the city, and for that we thank you.
Mr. Bonin.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. Cedillo said he wasn't sure if there was anything left to be said. I'm certain there is nothing else left to be said. So let me just repeat, thank you.
Okay, Mr. Koretz, back to you.
Well, thank you, Mr. President and colleagues. And now it's my honor to present UCLA with a certificate for their incredible 7th Annual Volunteer Day.
Mr. Herman, please. This is your second warning for disturbing this meeting, okay? I'm not going to warn you again.